Step here. We're going to talk about some things that we as DJs, because gang, I don't want to say we're at a pivotal point within the DJ industry, but there are some things out that are happening right now in the DJ industry that I think if we neglect them, if we just ignore them, it will change a lot of things, and it'll change them for the worst. And there will be things that we love that are going to go away. And that's what tonight's show is all about. How do we save the DJ industry? We need a theme song right here. We need an epic build. Yeah, we need an epic building thing.
Wait. Why did you not tell me we needed something? All right, here we go.
There we go. The building. I feel like we're. You don't have Dropbox by chance that's doing something, do you, Arnoldo?
No,
okay.
Everything's. I've got a good connection from my end. I really think it's got to be something going on with YouTube or.
Yeah, it's something out there in the middle somewhere.
I was trying to watch something earlier and it just wouldn't stream from YouTube, but everything else is working fine.
Well, yeah, none of those shows will stream that well.
Okay, so anyways.
The Chicken Rancher shows just don't stream very well.
They just don't.
So Arnoldo, let's just jump right into it. We're going to talk about a little bit about some things with DJ conventions, because I ran into some people who just didn't understand how DJ conventions work and what they need to do to make DJ conventions help them stick around. So we're going to talk about that, and we're also going to talk a couple of things about from content creator standpoint, what people can do to do not cause or to keep that around, because there's a lot of people out there creating great content. Jonathan's out there. You got Brian Red, yourself, myself, DJ Mikey Mike, Jay Brand. I mean, there's just so many people out there creating content, but there's things that people can either hurt the situation tremendously or help. So let's start with the DJ convention. First thing I want to talk about is the concept that people don't think about too often is the concept of buying your pass early. That's a huge one, I think, when it comes to things. What are your thoughts?
We actually, funny enough, we the Rant and Rave show that I did earlier today was about MobileBee, the good, the bad. And one of the things that we talked about is that when you buy your pass later on, you're really screwing the industry as a whole. And most DJs are like, whatever, it doesn't apply to me. But it does, because when you don't know how many attendees are going to be there, for example, if I were put on a convention and everybody buys their stuff last minute, stuff like, big gear giveaways and all that, I'm not going to do, because I don't know what my numbers are, and I'm not about to sit there and try to gamble those figures.
Yep.
Everybody wanted to get out of the Riv. Well, guess what? We're out of the Riv, and guess what? These hotels, real hotels, cost a lot more money. So, some of these things have to go, or we need to know what the passes are coming up, way ahead of time. When you wait to the last minute, you're really selling yourself short as far as what you can get out of it, with prizes or whatever the case may be. But also, for example, MobileBee, now they're doing 100 and I think like 150 or whatever. I can't remember.
149 at the show. Yeah, they were
149, and now you're getting to download all the videos from the seminars from a couple of years past or whatever. It's got a really good value. After that, it's going to go to 199. But you know what happens is that the DJs wait to the last minute, then they bitch. It's so expensive for this show. And first of all, anybody that thinks that MobileBee or Expo or whatever the case may be expensive have never gone to a real convention.
Yep.
If you go to, for example, a convention for lawyers, the pass alone is like $1,200. Dane and I were just talking about Dell World. Dell World, just the ticket to get in is 4 digits. Oh, but you want to attend a seminar? You got to now pay for each seminar.
Yes.
So what happens is when you guys wait to the last minute, it really screws with budgeting, and that's why things are going to continue going up, because we have to base a show, and I say we just didn't, as far as content creators in general, you got to base a show based on how many people buy their tickets ahead of time, not at the last minute, because that last minute money doesn't do a show a lot of good when it comes to planning to see what they can do, who they can bring out, and so forth. So that's one of the big problems. The other thing is, people want to see more exhibitors. They want to see more speakers. I can tell you right now that whenever somebody contacts me for a show or a stream, whatever the case may be, how many people are going to be there? I don't want to say I'm not going to waste my time for just a few people, but I have very limited time. So I got to go in what's going to spread my brand the most. Let's look at ADJ, for example. That week alone, they did Nightclub and Bar, they did the show down in Mexico, and MobileBee. Do you really think if another small show contacts them, ADJ would say yes? Probably not. No. Because there's a lot of shows happening. Look, it isn't just the DJ industry that these exhibitors are going after. ADJ, Chavez, Omni Systems, EV, PV, all these other people, there's more than just DJs in the market. DJs are this tiny, tiny little section. So when a trade show approached them, say, look, we've already got 1,000 registered members, and here comes a DJ show with we got 300 because everybody else wasted the last minute. You guys are losing out. And the less people that show up, the more things cost, or even worse, the less exciting things that there are to do.
For sure. And I think that statement there that you ended with, that when Ryan is going, and I'm going to pick on Ryan just because we finished his show. When Ryan is going out there and he's talking to a DJ, and again, you guys are whining because, there aren't enough exhibitors. He's going out there in June, July, and August. And this is when he's trying to book these people or get them on schedule. So he's on their budgets for 2017. And people they're going to say, okay, how many are signed up already? Well, I got 100, 150, 200. He goes to those people and they're going to laugh at him. Now, if he goes in there and says, hey, I've got 500 signed up already because we all just said, you know what, we're buying our passes early. Now Ryan has got some clout or some leverage or something that the vendors and the exhibitors are going to be excited about. And gang, if the exhibitors aren't there, and if the exhibitors aren't helping to pay the bills, this is either going to be a $500 to $700 a show pass event, or it's not going to be here much longer.
On a different, similar type topic, and I'm kind of glad Art said the NAMM show rocks. DJ, stop going to that. That's not for you. LDI. Yes, they have a DJ show. Not for you, okay? Seriously. It was a small section of DJs. NAMM, that's not an end user show. Why are you wasting your money just to go look at gear when you could go to a convention like Mobile Beat, like DJ Expo, and actually go to seminars that were created for you guys? NAMM seminars, not going to help you at all. Yeah. The gear that's a half at NAMM or at LDI, not going to help you. Because if you think a $200 pass for Mobile Beat's expensive, when you go talk to, I don't know, let's say high-end systems and see a $50,000 light control software, that's probably not in your budget. So get out of those shows. You don't belong there, and go to a DJ show. Put your money where it helps the industry.
Very true, because you won't see any. Yeah, there's education at NAMM, but that's for the musical merchants, the dealers, and even the dealers ignore those sessions. But that's another story. You need to, as DJs, as mobile DJs, we need to support those who are helping to grow the industry. Now, yes, I might not get much out of going to a Mobile Beat as an example, or a DJ Times, but you know what? I'm helping to invest in something that's going to help some young DJ that is coming in who hasn't experienced that. And a number of young DJs who came to this year, I think there were over 250 first-timers at Mobile Beat this year. So you're talking around, about 30% of the crowd is brand new. There were
more first timers than I've ever seen in any Mobile Beat show.
I would agree. It was incredible, and it was great to see that. But gang, as the experienced guys in the room, part of what we're doing and buying the passes early and investing in that and doing these other things we're going to talk about is investing in the next generation of DJs to keep this industry going. Okay, let's jump to the next one. This is a big one, and some folks, and I don't want to pick on anyone out there, because there were some folks who genuinely did not know this was a big thing, and that is, it's very, very important when you're attending these events to stay in the host hotel and not save $10 to go across the street. Arnoldo, you know a little bit about this. What are your thoughts on this?
So I had a lot of rants and raves about the Tropicana. I think the staff that I had to work with at Tropicana belonged at the Riv while it was being torn down, and literally at the same time. But the overall service that the end user got was really good. The hotel room is beautiful, and you could actually save $20 by going and booking directly, and not only direct the hotel, but I mean directly through like Priceline or whatever the case may be. What you may not know is the Priceline doesn't give a crap about you. They just don't.
Yep.
So if you call with a problem, who'd you book through? Priceline. We don't care who the hell you are. Yep. They don't. Okay. But what happens is Mobile Beat was what? It was 3 days or 4 days? Well, 4. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 4. So basically you're talking about $5 a day that you save. If I told you that for $5 a day, you wouldn't have to take your lazy butt from one side of the hotel to the other, would you do it? And this is what happens at the Riv too. I remember the Riv, if you did not book through Mobile Beat, you didn't go in the Monaco Tower, you went in the Ghetto Tower.
Yes.
That's the tower where you would contract an STD just by looking at it. It was not a clean tower. It was nasty. Monaco was a nice tower. How do you get into Monaco? You got to book through Mobile Beat, or you got to book a couple of years ahead.
Yep.
Because I was the one that always got booked out first. But what happens is, what happened at Tropicana, Ryan got a really nice tower. That tower, you just go down the elevator, hit the casino floor, and you're right in the middle of Mobile Beat.
Yeah.
Your showroom's right underneath there, all the exhibitor halls, the individual exhibit rooms, your seminars. It was great. But not only that, it was away from everybody else. In the last show, we were just talking about how it almost felt like nobody was there. I know the hotel was sold out, but it felt like nobody was there because I didn't see anything but DJs there. That was kind of a nice thing, being able to just walk around late at night, trying to find something to do. And, there's a group of DJs. Now we can go hang out or whatever.
Yeah.
You can't do that if you're staying in another hotel. And trust me, there's a lot more hotels that I like than the Tropicana just because of food. For me, I'm a big person with food. Tropicana does have a 24-hour restaurant. It doesn't suck. And that was really nice. And hey, guess what? It was right next to where our rooms are. It was in a nice non-smoking area. I had a beautiful view. John, I don't know if you know this about me. I'm obsessed with flying. I think it's a miracle of man that we got a 20-ton adult-looking toy with wings up in the air, and they can stay up there. I love flying. My hotel view was not the maid's bathroom. It was the actual airport. It was the coolest thing. It was beautiful. My friend's hotel view on the other side, you got to look at the high roller and everything else. You're talking sweet views. Actually, your view room was the same way, too.
Yeah, we had a nice view.
It really helps when you book through Mobile Beat, or through whatever the convention. Again, I say Mobile Beat, but it helps the show. Also, from the insider, the hotel will treat the show better when there's more people in the room block. Because you could say, I'm with Mobile Beat, they don't know that. Unless you actually book through Mobile Beat, Ryan can't present those numbers. So if you want the hotel to give you more options, to give you free Wi-Fi, to waive the resort fee, and they did. Actually, and people didn't know that. You might have saved your $20, but guess what? You're paying $29.95 a day for a resort fee. Mobile Beat, it was like $14 a day, $15 a day, something ridiculously low like that. So congratulations on saving $20, you idiot, because you actually spent more in the long run and you still had to make that long walk.
Now, when it comes to rooms at shows, gang, one of the things that there is a room attrition rate, or a number of room nights that a show has to guarantee. And this was part of it that I think some people didn't understand, is that as a promoter, whether I'm doing a show, Arnoldo's doing a show, or if we're in a hotel and using their ballrooms, generally they want us to guarantee a certain number of room nights. And this is something a lot of people I don't think realize, that if Ryan or whoever doesn't reach that number, that means that the show promoter has to cover those additional room nights to make it to that number, whether it's 100, whether it's 500, whether it's 1,000. And this has been something that has killed many shows. I mean, we had an experience where one of our shows took it in the shorts because of the room attrition rate. Thankfully, it sounds like that Mobile Beat did well with that, but this is something that as we're looking at these shows and everybody wants to keep the price down, well, you know what? If he has to spend the money to buy these rooms from the hotel that nobody uses, well, all of a sudden your pass, and I've even used this a couple of times with some guys who are like, oh, we don't stay there because we go $59 across the street. And it's like, your $100 pass that you bought from Ryan, I would rather you not even come, because your $100 will cost him money in the long run, because he's anticipating that basically a third to maybe half of his people, maybe even 2/3, somewhere in there, are going to be staying on site. And if you're one of those people and you're not staying on site, he's counting on your staying on site. Now you're costing him money. Your $99 is useless to him. So.
Oh, the other thing people also don't think about is they think these seminar speakers speak for free. Some of them do to help the industry out. Some of us are tired. Look, I'm all about helping out the industry, but this is my prom season. If I'm going anywhere, I got to get paid.
Yeah.
And my personal speaking fee, I'm not going to discuss it in public, but it's 4 digits. I can't even imagine what John Taffer and Red Food charge. Oh, yeah. And these aren't some has-beens or wash-ups. We're talking John freaking Taffer and Red Food, who, by the way, had incredible seminars, but you guys think they're free? No, they charge money, quite a bit of it. Okay, those parties, the DJ takeover where they knocked out an entire area of the hotel, as far as blocking it out for you guys, you thought that was free? No. When you go in and, there's a nice quiet meeting area, that's not for free. Hotels don't give you that stuff for free. They don't care about us because all they care about is money, as they should. Yeah. So every time, like you said, every time the DJ doesn't show up or whatnot, or doesn't get their hotel room, they see the less numbers, and Ryan has to pay out of, Mobile Beat's funding. And then when you guys ask, well, why aren't there better speakers? Well, because all the deficit came from you guys not actually getting a room block.
Yeah, that's for sure, and that definitely will hurt the show. And there's some folks who that stayed longer. And again, that all works together. So if you stay an extra 2 days and you book through the Mobile Beat, they'll get credit for it. So that's a good thing. But for those of you who didn't know this, don't think we're bashing you. It's something that I know there's people out there who know this is exactly it, and they're willingly going to thumb their nose at the whole process. And that, gang, is what's going to kill the industry. Let's go to the next one. This one, I think we're
also,
go ahead.
Real quick, side thing. If you guys do book through, if you guys are intelligent and you do book through the room block, don't charge your credit card for anything. A casino, restaurant, anything in a hotel, use your actual hotel number or hotel room. It's going to cost you ultimately the same amount, but what happens is the hotel sees like, oh my goodness, this guy through Moby spent this much money gambling, this much money doing this. And if you guys want to know how you get your room cheaper, even through the room block, it's that way. Because what happens is you'll book it through the room block. And my friend Dane did this, right? He would book through the room block at Riviera. But they're like, no, dude, you spent like a couple $1,000s gambling every time. Your room's comped. But Mobile Beat still gets that room block count.
Nice.
They're like, okay, well, this guy was there. Yeah, he didn't pay anything. But he is at the Mobile Beat block, and he gambled $2,000. Yes, he is more than welcome. And Ryan, or the show promoter can say, okay, look, I'm bringing these people in, but they're also spending money at your establishment too. So again, don't swipe your credit card. Just use whatever credit card. You should only have one credit card for these shows specifically. Don't use multiple ones because that's just dangerous.
Yeah.
But use one credit card. Use your hotel, put it over your hotel room. And anytime you buy something, just sign off with your room number. And then just show the hotels that as, an industry, we do like to spend money, especially on num-nums.
That's good advice. I did not know that. Cool. I learned something there. Okay, let's jump to the next one. We're moving along pretty good here. This one, I think both of us have heard and experienced and have been there when it comes to supporting those who support the show, going and buying from the exhibitors at this show, going and doing business with those companies that support the shows. Tell me what your feelings are, Arnoldo, about that person who comes in there and they walk into the ADJ booth. They went in there in a showroom. They look at that and said, oh, yeah, that's a cool light, boy. And they ask you some questions, and then they turn around and go buy it from Amazon from somewhere else.
I want to strangle them. I have to be careful what I say because it has ADJ's name tied to it. So I'll say it nicely. I want to take my hands around your neck. Okay. I want to squeeze, not lightly. Not really hard because you'll die instantly, but just a medium level where your face starts turning red, your light flashes before your eyes, right to that point where you put on Amazon and you instantly realize that was a terrible idea. Look, Amazon doesn't care about you. Okay, the dealers do. Now, there's two ways that I feel about this. One, on the gear side of things, what gear you buy, what gear you don't buy. Jazzy Jeff went on a rant about all these DJs on Pioneer's Jock about, it's not the same as Techniques. Techniques have been around forever. And Jazzy Jeff said, look, up until recently, Panasonic didn't give a crap about DJs. Pioneer, Reloop, Audio Technica, all these companies that have made turntables, Newmark, all the Vestax, all these companies have been making turntables specifically for DJs. The Technics 1200 was never designed as a DJ. They never cared. They never showed up to any DJ show until they decided we're going to relaunch the Techniques, charge 4 digits for the damn turntable, that's the exact same thing as before with nothing added to it and less features, less torque. I don't care what you say, less torque than what's out there. But now we're going to charge more because DJs are using it. I'm like, are you flipping kidding me? So why would you support a company? And again, I have Techniques, but why would you support a company that doesn't care about the DJ industry enough to show up to these shows?
Right.
Now, not every show can be there, or not every exhibitor can be there. Some people, there's certain reasons why they can't be there, but you buy from the people that are there. Again, it's the same with hotels. If everybody decided to just buy from Amazon, even though they bought ADJ gear, ADJ sees, well, we didn't sell anything. Why are we going to show up next year?
Exactly.
Now suddenly there's less stuff. There's less gear. And when you have less exhibitors, look, DJs, I know you guys are paying an awesome $199. That's not keeping the show alive. Not even a percentage. Your ticket, not that much. If you want the show to really be amazing, how about we pay real convention prices? But that's a different topic altogether.
Yeah.
It's all exhibitors. Exhibitors is what really matters. You got to keep the exhibitors happy. And the number one way is with sales. And a lot of the staff, and this is one of the things that DJs didn't quite understand. A lot of the exhibitors, they'll do like a certain percentage off, right? And then they do the free shipping.
Yep.
And I had a DJ's like, well, I can get the same price through my dealer, so why should I get it through yours? Because of free shipping. Well, what happens if I want to take my item home with me? That's fine, but why? Why do you want to carry one more thing with you? I mean, my God, TSA will check your freaking rear end if you have, a screwdriver. Can you imagine with a laser or something like that? So it is, you want to buy from the vendors that are there. Most importantly, not just because they're there, but as a thank you for taking the time to fly people out. Again, ADJ, in their example, they fly me out. I'm not working for free, okay? They fly me out to do these seminars, to talk to you, to try to help you come up with a light show or something that'll work for your business. And for those of you that don't know, I don't work for ADJ. They do bring me out, though, because I will give you an unbiased point. I will tell you what lights I use, what lights I won't use, what will work for you, because I'm not there to make a sale. I get no commission out of these things. Chavez does the same thing with Jeremy, and, everybody does different things for that. So these things cost exhibitors money. If they don't see a return of investment, they're not going to do it anymore. And ultimately, the DJ industry loses. And I feel like these shows are the last thing that are keeping the industry alive.
In many ways, I think there's a level of that because the money is, as we talked about a little bit earlier, the money's going away from the DJ industry with these different events, like you mentioned, Mexico, what have you. The money isn't there like it used to be.
One thing, Amazon, last time I checked, isn't an authorized retailer for much. They're just a reseller or a
listing agent kind of a thing.
Yeah, you don't know who you're buying from. See, what happens is Amazon has a warehouse, but they don't have a warehouse full of lighting and DJ gear. It's usually through somebody else. A lot of these people are unauthorized retailers that just bought from a distributor. That means when something breaks on you and you contact the company, where'd you buy from? Amazon. That's not an authorized retailer. You're out of luck.
Yeah.
Guys, you really think a warranty is for any piece of gear? No, it has to be bought. And I don't care if it's ADJ or who it is, but almost every manufacturer out there will only honor a warranty if it's bought through an authorized retailer. Why? Because they want to take care of their dealers. So they want to make sure there's an incentive of buying through a dealer.
For sure, and that's a huge part. And I think that's one of the frustrations one of our mutual friends who's a dealer really gets frustrated about is that whole concept of they buy it from somewhere else, and now they're going to come to our mutual friend and say, hey, this isn't working. Can you help? Can you fix it? Or this isn't, can you help? And no, it doesn't work that way. You do business with the people who will help you, and yes, you may be able to pick it up somewhere else for $2 or $3 less, but there's guys and gals and companies and such. I mean, there were, I think, 3 or 4 different retailers there. There were the different manufacturers there. You could go in there, and any of those companies would help you stand behind the products and take care of you, the end user, on whatever problems you may have. And not that there's a lot of problems, but they're there for you. Mm-hmm. And I also know 2 or 3 companies that had people drifting through the hallways that were not part of the event, and they were trying to make sales in the hallway. Hey, you like that light? I can sell it to you cheaper. Well, guess what, gang? If you like Mobile Beat, you like Disc Jockey News, you like DJ Expo, you like even the Arnoldo stuff, you need to do business with the companies that support us, because they're the reason why we can do what we do. Without their support, we might as well be going and flipping burgers somewhere. We probably make more money at it than we do with other things.
Interesting thought. If they're out there selling the hallway because they can't afford a booth, and look, these booths aren't cheap, but they're dropping the bucket for the sales that could be made in the long run, right? Or top of mind awareness campaign. If they can't afford to be in the show, do you really want to buy from that company? I mean, seriously, they're doing that badly. We don't know if they're going to be up in the air tomorrow. And I know several of these fly-by-night companies that come in, they think they're going to sell something. Before I did a lot of stuff with ADJ, I did stuff with Mobile Beat. Yeah. And I still do. I'm a staff writer there. I can't tell you how many times we've had our, security just kick people out of the show because they were selling stuff. Yeah. And guess what? Next day, they were gone. There was nothing left of them. People were like, I bought from this person a Mobile Beat. No, you didn't. They were not part of the Mobile Beat show. There's just some schlep outside, schlepping their gear, and you, like a schlep, bought their schlep, and now you're out of schlep. Yeah. And we saw that in going up past those bars. I'm walking by. There was a guy with a catalog, basically willing to take an order. Hey, you want to buy some gear? No, I don't. Mm-hmm. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way at all. Arnoldo, go ahead. We're just about done. We're going to skip the content creator stuff for another day. I think we really kind of hit on this. Let's give the folks a couple of thoughts, and we'll wrap things up tonight. Just to read on a couple of different things here, like Ian asked, the process of booking these shows, with Moby, you buy your pass. You don't need an exhibitor party pass. Your pass is your pass. The exhibitor and party passes are the cheap people that didn't want to actually go to the seminars. I don't know why. The seminars were fantastic. Yeah. And I only caught bits and pieces of them. But as far as getting the hotel, I booked the hotel. And I told them, hey, I'm part of Mobile Beat. And they're like, okay, great. They got me right away. And I actually made a request. I'm like, listen, can I have a room just somewhere, near this and this area? Yeah, no problem. When we get there, I told them, I was like, look, I have a couple of friends with me. Can we all be put in the same area?
Yep.
Not only did they do that, they said, oh, yeah, you're part of the Mobile Beat block. We'll get you whatever you need. And they put me in all our rooms like right next to each other. So that was something really cool. Again, if you're not part of the Mobile Beat block and you tell them that, they're going to tell you where you can shove your hotel card key. So again, that's the advantages, because if there's power in numbers, if it's just you by yourself, they don't care. When it's you and the entire convention, okay, they're going to treat you better for the most part. I had some interesting experiences at Tropicana, but it's a real Vegas hotel. They don't care about a DJ show because there's no DJ show that is in the level where it should be. Yep. Vegas is used to CES. LDI and NAMM, they're nothing. They're still nothing compared to some of the conventions they have there. You want to see a real convention? Go look at the numbers of CES or E3 or any of those. Our industry is tiny. It's a little piss in the bucket, for lack of better words, for these hotels. And I'm not saying they're not going to care about you, but if you really want some amazing service, we need to bring our industry to a level where conventions actually matter, where hotels want to see our business back.
Yeah. No, I think that's a great point. A couple of people were talking about the cost of these shows. Let's put a show pass at $200 for the show pass. Airfare from pretty much anywhere in the United States is going to be $400. If you need to go there.
It's whatever the airline industry feels like.
Yeah.
I remember a couple of years ago, Mobile Beat had huge drop off in exhibit passes because they were the $25 passes, right?
Yep.
So all these people bought them, and then airline tickets jumped up. It cost my wife and I $1,100 just to fly there and back. Yeah. And that was through a cheap airline. And obviously a lot of people didn't show up because when all of a sudden your airline tickets are $200 more than where it should have been, suddenly, I'll just lose this $25 pass. So you definitely want to book your flight early. I mean, like right now. You already know when Mobile Beat's going to be. Do it now. And just make sure you have the lowest price guarantee. And again, I use Priceline, so I don't want to be too much of a hypocrite, but I won't be anymore. What I did is I actually took on the philosophy of I bought a house and a car, so I'm done with trying to get my credit report where I wanted to be. I got one of these right here. This airline's card basically says you can tell your airline what you want. See, I'm smart. There's no number here. You thought you were going to take my credit card.
I was going to say, what are you showing us?
There's no number here. It's all chip. So unless you can read the chip code. Right here, the airline's card, right? If you have one of those, you can tell the airline pretty much what to do where you want to do it. So right now, I can go ahead and book United. I'm actually going to get that set up for DJ Expo Mobile now that we have the dates. And if the price drops, guess what? My price drops too. So I know that by booking now, I'm going to have the absolute lowest price possible.
Cool.
And if you wait to the last minute, tickets go way up. This is not in the middle of nowhere. No offense, John. This is in Minnesota, okay? Where if they get a flight to Minnesota, they're like, people want to come up to Bemidji? No, this is Las Vegas, where everybody around the world is going to go. So they're going to jack up those ticket prices at the very last minute, especially. There was an exhibitor that I guess couldn't show up to the last minute. They paid $1,800 for a one-way ticket. Guys, that's a 1 and 8. A 0 for a one-way ticket.
Wow.
I'm thinking they just pulled a mortgage and just lives in Vegas now because it's cheaper than flying back at that point.
Wow, crazy.
I know that Don said he stayed the whole week, about $900. Vegas can be really cheap or really expensive. If, to keep the costs of the show low for me, I usually eat at In-N-Out for lunch and then have like a nice, dinner out somewhere.
Yep.
But as long as In-N-Out exists, you can have lunch for $5. I guarantee it.
Exactly. Even if you go across to the MGM where they had their food court, it was you could go over there for $10. You had a build your own omelet, some fried potatoes. I mean, you had a nice breakfast there. The little food court they had down in the Tropicana was incredibly slow, but for $10 or I think it was $8, you got a huge piece of pizza. So I mean, it wasn't break the bank. And you know what, gang? There's nothing wrong with going and bringing a sandwich or something like that. You could go down to the little quickie store there in the front, and I did that once. I went and grabbed a turkey sandwich, $3 for the sandwich and $3 for the bottle of tea, and $6 I was back and headed to the exhibit hall.
The other thought, and real quick, this kind of leads from one thing to the other. That was one of the things that was my favorite thing about your show, John, was that because you were in Minnesota, as much jokes as I make about it, I would retire in Minnesota in a heartbeat, but it wasn't Las Vegas. People weren't there to party. So things in general were cheaper. The airline price, the hotel, my goodness, the hotel was beautiful. That was affordable. You know, a bus ride over to the Mall of America only cost us like $5, some ridiculously low like that. And I remember that, you know, our convention, I personally spent less than $150 just in food and finding a couple of things to do.
Yeah.
You know, that was incredible. Now, that's not including the hotel and all that, but $150 for, you know, part vacation, because after we were done with the seminars, we did go out and have a good time. That was absolutely worth it. And that's my other rant and rave that I have. There's a lot of DJs out there, and they know exactly who I'm talking about because I've, you know, called them out several times in person. You need to attend a disc jockey news convention. You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. He was never there. Not one time did he show up, but he's there making everybody else feel like crap because they didn't fly out. He was 5 minutes away from the hotel and he couldn't drive there.
Yeah.
You know, same thing. There's a Tampa DJ that keeps telling people to go to conventions. He's never gone to a single one since 2004. I'm like, really, guys? Don't tell other people what to do until you're doing it yourself. But yeah, these conventions are definitely getting better. The Mobile Beat seminars, I mean, they were very, very good. I've heard nothing but positive comments from everybody in the exhibit hall.
Yeah. Definitely. It was a great experience. And kind of wrapping up our little segment tonight, if these things are going to continue, not only the conventions, but the information portals and the different, you know, Mobile Beat, DJ Times, it's going to be because you guys are out there supporting the sponsors who help us bring this stuff to you. Without that support to these sponsors, which means at times you're going to be making a decision to, you know, do I do business with this one who does support it, or do I do business with this company that doesn't? And you're going to have to make that call. I'm going to every time. I mean, if I know that they're at DJ Times and they're supporting DJ Times, I feel good buying from them. Somebody asked about some East Coast. There's, you know, some of the companies that support the DJ Times. You've got Music Trends out there. You've got iDJ Now. They're huge supporters of it. Canal Audio, I believe it is. They were also at Mobile Beat. These are
NLFX Pro.
NLFX Pro is out there. I mean, these are the companies. NLFX is really, they're supporting our stuff. They support Mobile Beat stuff. These are companies that are going to be there. They're going to take care of you, and they're supporting the educational content that's hopefully going to really raise the industry for the next generation of DJs.
Absolutely. You know, shameless plug because ADJ's done a lot of it. But guys, don't forget when you go to these trade shows, those pizza parties, those sponsored seminars, those all cost a lot of money. And they're there because they want you guys to be educated by their products, but they want you guys to be educated. And when you go around, you turn around and you buy from Amazon, or even worse, you buy a generic Chinese knockoff. We will do a whole rant on that later on.
Yeah.
But basically, you're just telling these manufacturers, F you, I'll do it on my own. Fine, do it on your own, and then let's see how far your business really gets.
Yeah, for sure. Arnoldo, we got to wrap it up, my friend. It's after 9 o'clock. I wanted to just do a half an hour to let you get back to your chicken farming.
No, spaghetti right now.
Spaghetti. Ladies and gentlemen, if you
10 chickens now.
Goodness, we'll have to see the pictures tomorrow with the Scarlett
Johansson. The rooster is called Michael Cluck Duncan. And then we have a chicken with a large derriere called Clucky Minaj.
That's the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll put links and such in the description below so you can go and check out Arnoldo's YouTube channel. He's got a lot of great educational videos out there. He's got master school dances. You can go check that out. We'll put all those links in his description. Check them out. Questions, comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Arnoldo, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night.